I got into this race because I care deeply about our community and our country. I've run this campaign by myself with the help of a dozen great volunteers, but I wouldn't be here without some amazing women. I'd like to thank my wife and the many black queens for uplifting me every chance they get, including my mother, Tim Peterson, who was also a South High graduate, whose last wish was that I be successful in whatever I put my mind to. I stand on your shoulders in this work, and I will not quit until we truly have liberty and justice for all. I do not know what it's like for people to fear me because of the color of my skin, but that does not change my lived experience of being the proud son of a black mother, growing up protesting police brutality in front of the 3rd Precinct as a child, who was told her MS was in her head by doctors for 10 years, who was scared to send me to school with stains on my shirt because she was scared child protection would take her from me. When I was 8, I told my mother I wished I was black. She told me that day I was born, she cried, and I said, "Why, Mom?" "Because of your light hair and your blue eyes. I knew they would treat you the way I was." It's the same reason I looked at my half-Korean son's eyes when he was born, because I was worried that people would not judge him based on the content of his character. A dozen years before I was born, I couldn't marry my white wife, whose ancestors fought for freedom in the American Revolution. But ours is a nation of progress. While some of the men who wrote our founding documents fell short of the values they put to paper, they gave us the ability to improve the nation and shine values of liberty, equality, and justice for all. This country has been on a march towards a more perfect union. We ended slavery, segregation, and expanded the right for people to vote and made it legal for my gay father to be married in a few generations. I know some of you have sacrificed in this room to help make sure that my father could be married. We had leaders in this country who inspired us with their dreams. Martin Luther King once said, "I have a dream that one day, little black boys and girls and little white boys and girls will hold hands." Well, because of that dream and his courage, that boy and girl got married and they had me. My lived experience made me who I am, and it's hard for me at times to tell my story because everybody wants it to be told a different way. Think about my upbringing. I've said at these conventions that I can see Martin Luther King's dreams live on through me, and I've gotten some sideways looks. One white woman in the audience thought it was okay to tell one of them black queens that I mentioned earlier that I couldn't say Martin Luther King's dream lived on through me. I overheard another white woman at a fundraiser saying, "Why can't he just be black?" I'm a mixed race, son of parents who struggled with addiction and mental illness. I was raised in the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. My first wife is the daughter of Korean War refugees and immigrated to the United States. My second son is half Thai. I served at home with many of our NATOs and allies in the field, from the snow caves of Norway to the jungles of Asia. I have no cartilage in 3 places in both my knees, 4 ruptured and leaky discs in my back, all in service to our country. I've traveled to most of the countries in the South China Sea and visited dozens of Buddhist and Hindu temples. I'm sorry it's hard for folks to see me the way I do. I'm not just black or white. I'm not just an airman or a soldier. I'm not just a Christian or a Buddhist. I am everything and anything in between. Just like our country, I'm a product of the many stories come together as one. We need leaders that can use their stories to bring people together around a common purpose that unites us. I believe in progress. If we believe in it as Democrats, patriotism is our core value, and we need to embrace it. Our nation was built on values as relevant today as they were then. We must protect freedom of speech, assembly, the press, an independent judiciary, and the rights of individuals to own private property. I have been to places in the world where the fight for freedom has turned into totalitarianism. The propaganda villages of North Korea, where your entire family will be sent to a labor camp if you don't believe that your leader worked so hard for the people that he does not use the bathroom. To the streets of the Chinese Communist Party in Russia, where you will be disappeared for holding up a white piece of paper silently. While I believe most folks in our party are compassionate people, extremists on both sides call for the death of democracy, a system that has provided us with so much. They both call for a revolution while worshiping the dear leader. Political violence has no home here. And we should guard against all who fan its flames. Staying true to our values, American values, also means that the far right, who believe they have a monopoly on patriotism, are going to fear me. From sea to shining sea, Trump's red hats are going to know me, because I'm going to show them what a real patriot's supposed to be. First, we need to address our own party's extremism. If our party truly believes in equity and diversity, why is it that we have a representative that routinely has been made to apologize for anti-Semitic remarks? How has she not condemned the political violence on our streets during the unrest? Shamefully, it took our former Bible-selling president 187 minutes to condemn the violence of January 6th. It has been over 1,000 days since the unrest on our streets, and nothing from our current representative, except inciting more conflict on our campuses with our students. Hubert Humphrey created the DFL to unite voters who demanded progress and to push out extremism and anti-Semitism that was rampant in our community at the time. People forget our Jewish brothers and sisters were riding with us in the back of the bus. Many could pass as white. They stood shoulder to shoulder with the civil rights leaders, demanding equality for all. While I am honored to have the Jewish mayor of our city, it is appalling to have to see him routinely defend against such an ancient form of hate. We are in an era of political demagogues, where some want to fear, where they want to tear down democracy and silence and dehumanize folks, and use political violence as a way to power, because bringing folks together is much harder than dividing and conquering. If our country was so bad, why would millions of downtrodden folks from all over the world go through such dangerous lengths to be a part of our great nation? While recent events have challenged our commitment to tolerance and diversity, we know the path forward. It is time we let the great light of Hubert Humphrey lead the way. He made us the first big city to desegregate our workforce and was instrumental in passing the civil rights with Martin Luther King Jr. This party's values can again be a bright shining light, just like the North Star that led my mother's ancestors to freedom. I say, let there be light. I hope these words are everything the happy warrior Hubert Humphrey expected them to be. That's why I am choosing to endorse Don Santos for the primary and to join this campaign. While I truly believe I am the best person for the job, it is clear to me God has the support needed to unseat our current representative, and I look forward to his mentorship and leadership. Convention Chair, please withdraw my name from the endorsement process. Thank you.
Please consider donating to my campaign so we can guard against political extremism at home and abroad. God bless Minneapolis and the 5th Congressional District, but most importantly, God bless the USA. Thank you.